What's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Welcome back to The Razor's Edge. I am so excited to be chatting with the amazing Vincent Price from Body Count. Thank you so much for joining me today, dude. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Awesome. Yeah, great. So exciting month up ahead because, of course, Body Count, you are releasing your new album, Merciless, on November 22nd. I've given it a few spins already. It is simply stunning, as per usual from you guys.
No,
It's so good. When did you guys begin working on it?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. Yeah, that's been a long. That was a long process doing that record. Um, yeah, but literally 3 years. Reason why it was so long, you had COVID, you had all this other stuff come in play. There was a lot involved, scheduling, you know, lining up with Will, lining up with myself, lining up with Ice, and when he did when COVID shut down, that shut down the whole TV, his filming, so he had to go into double duty after COVID. So there was a lot involved, and yeah, it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's usually a lot of wait between when you finish an album and the actual album release, but even then, the 3 year gap, was it that, how frustrating was that? Have you just wanted to get it out there at this point?
It wasn't done. It was started.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, we missed like three deadlines. We got in. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm happy that it's finally all that stuff is over, but it was a lot going into it and a lot coming out of it. Now that it's done, it's a relief for everyone. Trust me. For the label, everyone. I mean, we already went on tour. We didn't tour on this record. It was just a long process,
Mm.
but I mean, process paid off.
Yes,
That's
definitely. Cool. I think I read somewhere that I told you guys come up with riffs so good I wouldn't have to sing over them, which is a interesting writing tip if I've ever heard one. What does the writing process look for you guys? How does a body count song come to be?
well. We'll write a bunch of songs. Then once those songs are all written, then Ice takes them and dissects them and makes them till he can sing to them. And if it's a riff that he's thinking of off his head, he'll hum the riff and we'll just come up with it on the guitar. And then once everything's done, as far as the music and everything, once he's went through all the parts, figured out what parts he wants to use here or there, take out that part, put that part in there, almost like a movie kind of thing where you cut and pasting. And then he'll start writing lyrics. And then
Awesome. Yeah, great. So your music generally, it's usually very quite politically charged. But how often would you guys say draw from a specific social event or movement, or does it normally do you draw inspiration from just the way the world is in a more general sense, if that makes any sense?
it's just everyday living.
Hmm.
For him, it's just basically everyday living, what he sees and what he goes through in his mind and what he sees. You know, I mean, it's funny because when we're writing these songs and they're just instrumentals, I'll just come up with a name and just put a name out there, not for him to use. Well, sometimes he uses them, sometimes he doesn't. I'm trying to think of what song that I called it, and he actually called it that name, but I can't think right now. But we usually have like working titles, and then he'll change the working titles to what he wants to write to. And sometimes those working titles reflect on his lyrics.
Okay, that's really cool. Your working titles are that when you're writing instrumentally, how vivid are the things that you're inspired by? Is it like a thought or a feeling or an event or something? What kind of things inspire you when you're writing instrumentally?
I'm always thinking about heavy stuff. So heavy, not meaning like meaning heavy metal, just dark, you know, evil. I hate using those expressions, but yeah. I mean, just the other day I wrote a song. My girlfriend goes, "What's that called?" I go, "It's called Candle Wax." She goes, "What?" Because I saw a candle, and I was like, "Oh, candle wax." I mean, I'm always thinking all these different, just whatever. It's what's in front of me, so to speak. It could be from an album. It could be an album cover I look at or something like that. You know,
Yeah,
like
great.
perfect example. Psychopath. The original working title was called "Killer on the Noose,"
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know how I thought about that title, but she's like, instead of "Killer on the Loose," I said "Killer on the Noose." And I don't know, maybe I saw something or something. I have no idea,
It's
but
like
that's
a
how they. Oh, just like basically, I'll look at, and when the songs are pretty much done, I'll look at Will Putney. I was like, I'm gonna call it this song. I mean, we were doing Bloodlust. I was calling everything blood, blood this, blood that, blood this, blood that. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I just come up with just working titles, and he'll take it from there.
Okay, great. I mean, Killer on the Loose is a great title, so maybe it will come back. Very, very, very cool. Cool. So, as I think we already mentioned, your last album, Carnivore, was released at quite possibly the worst possible time you could have released it. I think it was like a week before the world shut down. Here's hoping this one runs a bit more smoothly. Um, I am curious though, is the fact that we have a Body Count album coming out the same month as the US election taking place, is that a coincidence? Because it could be a very fitting time for a Body Count album, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I guess so. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. So if you say so, then yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's a labels thing, you know?
Seems very apt. So I think I was talking to someone recently about you guys, and I was saying that you always seem to know when to release an album. There's normally something significant in the world going on at one time, and I was like, that's a cool coincidence. And someone went, "No, the world's just always shit." So-
I wish we wouldn't release Carnivore. We release something else that nobody else was able to hear because that record was really good.
Yeah, it was a great one actually. Yeah, I think I do prefer this one though. This one is really really good.
Yeah, that's because Ice comes to me and goes, "Okay, now we got to top Carnivore." I'm like, "Oh God!" Every time he tells me something, it's like we got to top it. So it's like yeah, I just go hardcore and go for it. I
Amazing,
mean,
amazing stuff.
Carnivore was a really good record. You
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. A clear highlight though on this album. This it's already out if people want to go hear it, but doing your own version of Pink Floyd's "Comfortably Numb" and with David Gilmour coming in doing some guitar work. Whose idea was that? Because that is an unexpected collaboration, but was magnificent in equal measure.
well, it's crazy because Ice has a vision with everything he does. We've been trying to do Company Numb for 10 years.
Wow.
We've been trying to do Company Numb Pink Floyd's version, meaning with the lyrics, the choruses, and everything. We were trying to do that like on the Manslaughter record. And when we were doing it, we would do like the slow part, then the chorus would speed up. Comfortably numb. Well, anyways, so he's been trying to do that song for a long time, and every time we're doing something, he's like, "Vince, I really want to do this Pink Floyd song. I really want to do this." And then he decided, okay. I'm like, all right, well, we got to get somebody to sing on it. We got to get. So I approached Richie Sambora,
Oh wow.
who I work for, and I said, "Hey, Richie, you want to do, because he's always talking. Ever since he found out I was in Body Count, he's like, we got to do some stuff together, brother." Anyways, so he was the original person that did the guitar solo on that record. So basically, on that song, it's Ernie and Richie Sambora doing dual leads at the end of the song. So for us to use the song had to be cleared. So we sent it out to get cleared, and everybody's you guys can release it the way you want, release it, blah blah blah, whatever. So we said, all right, we need to get this thing cleared. So the first person to reach out to us was Roger Waters.
Wow.
He goes, All right, mate, you got it. You guys can use the song, no problem. You got my blessings. David Gilmour comes in and goes, "Hey, is that Ice-T sing? No, is that Roger Waters singing those parts?" And we're like, "No, that's Ice-T singing those parts." And he goes, "All right, no problem, mate. You got it. You guys got my blessing." Like maybe 24 hours, 10 hours, I don't forget how many hours it was later. He says, "Scrap the guitars. I want to do the guitars." So we're like,
That's amazing.
"Okay." And we're like, "Well, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings that's already recorded." He goes, "I got 3 studios. Send me the track." And the rest is his.
That's absolutely incredible. He's an absolute legend. So yeah, that's an amazing story.
Bull.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Speaking of legends, though, I guess we can count you guys among that because I'm 99% sure you're the first musician that I've interviewed who is Grammy award winning. Body count. You guys won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance back in 2021.
Oh,
Congrats
yeah.
with that, of course, by the way. But I'm curious because does winning what is essentially the most prestigious award in music, does that change the way you might approach music going forward after that point? Does it mess with your head in any way?
No,
No.
no, no. I want plaques. The trophy thing is not some. I want a plaque. I want like people. I want to get a plaque. I like those plaques where people sell so many records. That's what I want.
Okay, fair enough. What was it
I,
like winning a Grammy though? Was it at all like a moment for you, or was it just sort of okay, that's cool, I guess?
it was cool. It wasn't like it was a highlight, but not really a highlight. Because when I was playing music, I didn't think I always saw like Prince or Michael Jackson or Beatles or somebody of that era, yes, or whatever. Not even yes. I'm more like I don't know, Pink Floyd, bands like that, winning Grammys. I didn't think there would be Grammys in music. I mean, Metallica came around and then that was it, but I didn't think it went further than that. So that was like no big thing to me.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Cool.
You know,
So,
getting a damn Grammy, do you?
what's that?
I said, you don't think King Diamond or Merciful Faith up for a Grammy, do you?
No, I suppose not.
Yeah, well,
Fair. Yeah.
bands I listen to. So it's like, yeah, wasn't expecting to get a Grammy, being a body count.
Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. So I wanted to ask some questions about your career specifically. Where did your journey into heavy metal begin?
Oh gosh, wow. Well, I mean, first I was into like funk. I'm not, and still into all the stuff that I still listen to now. But started with me with funk. Then I got into Kiss, and then later I moved from like L.A. to like a town called Pomona, and my friends were into like Black Sabbath and stuff like that. And I got into Black Sabbath, and later I got into hardcore punk rock. And then later, after the hardcore punk rock, I got into like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So that was like when I would say when a new wave of British metal came out, just when I got into it. Um, First bands exposed to me were like Motorhead, obviously, then Metallica, then Iron Maiden. I mean, Tigers of Pantang, Witchfinder General. I mean, it goes from camp. And I've been playing in heavy metal bands all my life too. So I've come from a band called Steel Prophet. I've been in it for like maybe 40 years now. So that's when my journey began.
Great. And what turned you on to bass? Who were your earliest inspirations?
Oh my gosh, Steve Harris.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the
I mean, I I listened to like Yes, I listened to Black Sabbath, I listened to all those bands, but it wasn't really dominant to me until I heard Harris. Then I was like, all right, there's more to this than I thought it was. Because at first I was in punk bands just playing like 2 strings, just like and I thought faster you did, that's where you were at. Until I mean, my favorite bands of all time is Discharge. I mean, Rainey does some cool stuff too. But when I heard Steve Harris, it singled everything out, and it just totally changed everything for me. And then I went backwards, started listening to Rush and listening to bass stuff, and yes, started listening to Geezer Butler and all that kind of stuff. But it was Harris that actually opened up the doors for bass players to listen to the bass.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's very prominent. The bass in Iron Maiden, it stands almost as equal to the guitars, which is
Yeah.
always incredible. Steve Harris is awesome. Of course, though, outside of Body Count, you're a very busy guitar tech,
Yeah.
working with some incredible people. Which side of your life would you say keeps you more busy, the music or the guitar teching?
Guitar teching.
Yeah. How did you get into that? How did you build that career?
Oh gosh. That started with me from working with punk bands, unloading gear and everything. And plus I work on guitars too as well. So I'm always taking guitars apart, making my own guitars and everything. And later I just start teching. I mean, my first actual tour was Hammerfall. No, not sorry. It was Soilwork and Hypocrisy.
Wow.
And then how that came about was, we were signed to Nuclear Blast at the time, Still Profit was. And my guitar player told me again, hey, the label's looking for a guitar tech to tech for Soilwork and Hypocrisy. Are you interested? I go, yeah, I'll do it. And back then it was like I had to take 2 weeks of vacation from work and all that kind of stuff. And basically I took my 2 weeks of vacation from work saying I was going to go play in my own band. And I never went back to work ever since.
Incredible. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how does it at the top level of sort of the guitar tech, like I don't know, that side of how live performance works, how do you end up sort of getting picked up for new contract show, so to speak? How do you get moved from one artist to another? Do they seek you out or do you offer your services? How does that work?
It's just word of mouth. If you're really good, your name spreads on, and you it's like a network kind of thing. Like right now, I mean, I'm right now I'm with Marilyn Manson, but we don't do anything. We just finished our US run where we're kind of on break. We have a show in Mexico, but right now, this weekend I'm with Danny Elfman. I just did rehearsals with Danny Elfman, and this morning I got an email about doing Christina Aguilera in Vegas. So it's just basically networking and just, being friends with other guitar techs that, they can't do other gigs, just, say, hey, can you fill in? Hey, can you do that?
Yeah, great. The range of genres covered there is quite something. When you're working with all these different musicians from all across the music spectrum, do you have a big appreciation for all kinds of music, not just your heavy metal and your punk?
I mean, I work for the Dixie Chicks as well. It doesn't mean no. I mean, it's not just a job. I get to learn so much different things. About music, how each musician handles their band members, how the bands, just everything, and it helps me and it educates me on what I need to do when I'm in my own bands as well.
Yeah,
Because I
awesome.
see it, I live it, I'm working it, I'm experiencing it every day. From gear malfunctions and all kinds of stuff. I mean, there was this one guy told me the other day. It's like I was playing guitar, and he told me, and I was having guitar issues. I was just jamming, playing with some other people, and I was having guitar issues. And he like steps up and he goes, "Wow, that doesn't happen in my world." I'm like, "Okay, dude, this is what I deal with every day." Okay, what world you live in? It's like this is how it is. It's like this stuff's gonna work or it's not gonna work. It's up to me to make sure it works. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, awesome stuff. So, to bring it back, how did you come to be in Body Count?
Oh gosh. Well, um, I worked at a rehearsal studio where Body Count rehearsed. Both places, a place called Bill's Place in North Hollywood that was owned by still owned by Mark Zahner from Fates Warning, Warlord. And Body Count rehearsed at one place, and they got a new location to Bill's place, and that's when I started actually working for Mark. And I would see these guys, auditioning bass players, drummers, and basically my job was to open up their room and set it all up, because at Bill's place, nobody could just walk in. You have to you have the key, open it up, set up their PA and everything. So basically I was doing all that for like a long time. Never know. I wasn't even interested in being in the band. They did a European tour. I guess it was like supporting Violent Demise at the time. I talked to Ernie a lot, talked to the guys, but then one day Ernie says to me, "Hey, me and Duff, we're starting a record label, and we want to sign your band," because he heard my bands play at Bill's place. This guy, "We want to sign your band. We really like your band." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then like maybe a month later, he goes, "Hey, I want to start my own band." So basically I was playing bass in Ernie's solo band. Me and Pete Parada were playing in Ernie's solo band. And then one of the guys that came in or whatever goes, "Oh, you're going to play bass and Body Count," one of these says. I'm like, "All right, sure, whatever." So yeah, and the rest is history.
Awesome. I did, going off of that though, I did read somewhere, I think I said that Body Count is made up of friends. If we don't know you, you can't be in the band. So is there a really strong bond between you guys in that band?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Does that,
Yeah.
how does that affect the music do you think?
Oh, it affects, yeah, because then everybody's on the same page. Me and Juan, we pretty much grew up in this metal scene together. Being he was an Agent Steel and I was in Steel Prophet, so we have like a camaraderie right there. We also had another band we were doing together where I was playing guitar and he was playing guitar, and it was called Obscene Gesture with some of the guys from Agent Steel. So yeah, we've had a bond for like a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So, looking ahead beyond the release of Merciless, we are approaching the end of 2024, if you can believe it. What can we expect from Body Count before the year is up and going into 2025?
Oh gosh, we're waiting for this record to come out. Once this record comes out, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the album cover was already banned in certain countries.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
Japan.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, the pre-orders seem to be going pretty good, so everybody knows the record what the record actually looks like. You have a copy of it, so I think we're okay so far. Just wait for it to actually get out there and see what people's reactions are.
Yeah, amazing. Cool. So we're nearly there, but I do have to finish with one very specific question because I've been put up to this by some of my mates. There's
Nope.
there's a festival in the UK. You might have heard of it. It's called Bloodstock.
We do that thing forever.
Yeah, for years people have been requesting that you guys come to the festival, and the organizer Vicky Hungerford has been saying she's trying, and she's been telling all of us to keep asking you guys to be there. So
Oh yeah,
what's the
there.
holdup?
We'll be there. We don't know when, but we'll be there. It has to be. Wait a minute. When is that? It's like next year sometime, right?
It's August 2025 is the next one.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've not
I'm
been
just gonna-
you've not been confirmed.
Yeah. I'm not saying, I'm just putting it out in the air. So hopefully if I say it, it will happen.
I will all be very excited, so people can look back at this and thank me for it, basically. Brilliant. No idea how much I've been looking forward to asking you that.
Once I'm there.
Brilliant. Awesome stuff. Can't wait. Okay, so that's all I've got. Thank you so much again, dude, for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
You got it.
For everyone listening, I'll reiterate Body Count's new album Merciless drops on the November 22nd. Make sure you check it out. It is awesome. I've been Chris with The Razor's Edge. Thanks for joining me, dude. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with all of our interviews by subscribing to our channel. For all the latest news, reviews, interviews, and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.